All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. It's Saturday morning, wet, ugly, rainy, and all that there. I'm just, yeah, I got a lot to do today. I'm glad I got done with what I needed to get done with yesterday, because that would have really, made it even worse today with all the rain. We got more rain coming today. So at the end of the day, you got to keep going no matter what, guys that work for you do or what they don't do or whatever. So, yeah. So I know the video yesterday talked about oversleeping and like that's a valid excuse. I don't know that dude overslept or whatever. I would say that's probably one of the reasons, but I don't know that for sure. Dude did text me and tell me that the reason he didn't come to work is because he lost his key to his car. So, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, okay, we all have lost our keys to our vehicle before, but I don't know that has anything to do with letting me know what's going on, right? So, and he was going to call a locksmith. Now, I don't know, and maybe you guys do. I know that for me, I have never called a locksmith because I lost my keys at my house. Where the vehicle's outside. Now, I have called a locksmith to unlock my door, because I locked the keys in the truck or whatever, in years past. I'm looking in the vehicle, from the outside, and I see my keys sitting there and I can't get to it. I've called a locksmith for that, to make me a door key. But I can't never remember a time where my vehicle was at home out in my driveway and I couldn't find my keys and I called a locksmith, because obviously the key has got to be there somewhere, because, well, the vehicle's in the driveway. So, yeah, I mean, it just shows you that, well, people spend their money on stupid stuff, man, and the people that spend their money on the stupidest stuff are the ones that are usually the most broke. Or, because they're spending their money on stuff that's like, avoidable. Most of the time when these guys come out here and work for me, I hear nightmare stories about things they're having to pay for, and I mean, and I'm not talking about any one person in particular. I'm just talking about in general. Bo used to have to pay for things that'd be like, probation, and other guys have had to pay tickets and late fees and just different stuff that I don't have to pay for. And when you tally all that up, all the dumb avoidable stuff that you pay for during the year, if you get to December and you tally all that dumb shit up, you probably got a substantial amount of money, thousands of dollars that just got wasted. Not to mention the money that you lost because, well, you couldn't do this because you didn't have that, because you didn't pay that, and now you don't have a way to work or whatever. These things are just so like slap me in my face type stuff, and at the end of the day, if you avoid certain things, we all get tickets and we all make mistakes, don't get me wrong, me included. I mean, but I'm not perpetually living in that mess, I'm not perpetually paying out of things paying cash money out on things that are avoidable. A lot of things that we pay for, that are our own doing, our own slip up. The thing about me, and what I try to show on my channel and preach on the channel, is learn from those things so they don't happen again. Well, Ray, I got a speeding ticket, man. Well, you learn from those things, and you say, and you remember what it feels like to have to pay, $250 speeding ticket. And I remember that. And then I think about how many lawns I got to cut to be able to pocket $250. And I've gotten speeding tickets, and I'll probably get another one, but it's not detrimental, because I try to learn from these things, to minimize that, not stop it. But in some cases you can stop it, maybe not, the speeding ticket, you can stop that, but sometimes we get carried away, and that's okay, just be prepared. But when you already are having, tight money problems, right? Or you're working a job or whatever where everything's real tight, you don't want to make life harder. Like if you're working out here working with me and you're working during the winter, you don't want to have a bunch of out-of-pocket expenses, if you're working for a guy like me, wherein you're not really working that much, and you don't want to cost yourself more. If dude has to call a locksmith to make another key for his vehicle, the vehicle that is parked out in the driveway, that the key has got to be between the car and the house. Where else could it possibly be? I don't know. Keys got locked in the car? I kind of doubt that, because the key fob won't let you lock them in the car. So, it just things that we go through and that we, put ourselves through really in life. A lot of these things are just so avoidable that it's like a no-brainer. And as you get older, now when you're in the midst of it, I got to pay this, I got to pay that. You're always putting your own fires out, and all that shit costs you time and money. It does. And and I have to put my fires out too all the time, but they're minimal. I don't make big fires. I make, I'll make a mistake and it'll be a small fire, manageable, because I am conscious and I try to manage everything in a way like that. So, that's life. And the more you can dodge avoidable mistakes, which cost you money, the more money you can make and the more money you can keep, and then the less stressful your life is. People live their whole lives stressed about putting out fires that they created. It's crazy, man. And it goes back to thinking about what you're doing and your decision making. Of course, when I was 30-something, I didn't make the kind of decisions that I make now, because I didn't have life experiences that I have now. And I'm sure 10 years from now, I'll be thinking the same thing. It'll just be up another level. So, just something to think about, man, so it's like a double whammy. If dude has to pay for a locksmith $100 or whatever, I would say it'd be about that to come out and make a key. I don't know. I might be off, because I don't ever go through that. But yeah, if you have to pay for that and you miss a day of work too, well, that's double whammy, bammy. I'm just, now you're losing $200 or whatever. When really, dude could have, if you lost your key or whatever, Duke could have just texted me and, you know, and told me that instead of just not answering the phone. So that's what makes me think that it was some kind of, you know, I overslept what happened. I know what happened. So, you know, and we all do that too. I don't oversleep, man. But, you know, I don't live a crazy life either. Anyway, so I got to go here to the steel dealer, Skag Deal, and buy a belt. It's $70. And, yeah, don't that suck? And then what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go by Lowe's on the way home. And I'm going to I need to buy another kit to build another table. I looked at moving the table from my garage, you know, up to the building, and I'm not going to want to do that. It's fastened to the wall hardcore, and then if I do that, then there's not going to be anything, you know, left on the in the garage to do anything with. So I'm just going to leave that table and shelving and all in the garage on that one wall. Now I might take some of the shelving off of the other wall. So I'm going to try to get one of these kits, and I'll show y'all what the kit is and all, and so I can build another table. I'd like to build 2 more. I want to build another full-size one, you know, and then I would like to build a small, short one too. That's kind of, and with it being so wet and ugly today, it's a good day to be in the shop and to start, you know, to work on some stuff, man. So I don't know if I told you guys, but I think I have mentioned it in a couple videos. I keep going back and forth about it. So I think I'm going to try to do this French drain job over at one of my customers' houses. He's going to rent them. Well, we're going to rent a Mini X, and I don't really, you know, I don't really want to do it, but that's why I'm going to try to do it, because it's outside my comfort zone, and you know, I'm still on the fence about it, but I'm leaning toward I'd like to do it. If I got good help that'll come to work and that'll, you know, help me. I don't think it would take much if I rented a Mini X, but I have to figure out how much pipe we need. I'd have to figure out how much gravel to buy and all that. So I'm always talking about, you know, stepping outside the comfort zone. And I tell you what, this would be a perfect time, job, customer, and everything for me to, I don't know, try my hand at that, man, because he really wants me to do it, and he really is not worried about liability or anything like that. I mean, they got money, they'll fit. He for some reason, dude wants me to do it, and he trusts me or whatever. And I told him I've never done one before, not for money. And he said, well, do some research on it and then just make it happen. And so, you know, I said, well, what if I hit one of the lines? You know, he's got irrigation in the yard. There's all kinds of obstacles in the way, and that's the biggest thing. You know, not to mention the fact that I've never ran a mini excavator before. You know, there's that. You know, so, but I'm seriously contemplating, you know, if I want to do it or not. I know that if I wait, you know, too long, then it's not going to get done this year. And then he might have to hire somebody else, because he definitely has some water stuff that he needs to take care of. And I think that we can do it, man. You know, of course, I don't have a lot of the tools it takes to. I don't have a transit. I don't have a laser level or nothing. So we've got to do it old school. You know, if I, you know, to take on that job. And you know, and this is the same customer where me and Zach cleaned up the woods out in front of his house a couple weeks ago, you know. And I think I mentioned to you guys that he don't ever ask me how much. He says do it and invoice it. So I'm gonna have to buy the pipe, and once I commit to buying the pipe and all, then you know I'm gonna have to damn do the job. But there's so many things I don't know. I'm kind of uncomfortable going into a job like that. But what better opportunity to get my feet wet than with a customer that's gonna pay me good, that's not gonna hold me liable if I hit something with the Mini X, you know, underground. I mean, that's what he told me. I mean, flat out. Well, Ray, you can't really, you know, you can. I can, if he tells me something, then we got that relationship. I'm not concerned about it. And they got money, so there's nothing that they, you know, can't fix. If, you know, and anything that worst thing I would do, really the worst thing that I would do is hit a irrigation line, you know, and you know that can be fixed. But I need to commit to him. I keep, you know, I'm on the fence about doing it, man. You know, we're out here starting to cut the grass and all. I'm thinking to myself, man, I ain't gonna have time to do that. But the more I think about it, you know, 5 years from now, I'll be thinking, damn, man, I might have missed an opportunity to really learn something, make some good money, and really learn something. You never know where the business might be able to go from there. Because if I see that it's something that I can do, and it's something that pays really good, and it's something that that all I got to do is buy a Mini X, it'll be another reason to maybe buy a Mini X. Because right now, if I went and bought a Mini X, I wouldn't know what to even do with it. And I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't know what to do with it, and that's not a good spot to be in. You know, so it ain't like with a skid steer. When I bought the skid steer, I already knew what I could do with it because I had ran one many times and all that there. So I need to get me a new hat over here too, man. But I'm thinking about going on and trying and giving a hand at that job, man, because of the simple fact that it will prepare me and pay me for if somebody else wants to do one, and then I can justify in my head, you know, one thing that I can do with a Mini X. Is there anything else I can do with one, and so on. And I've seen some Mini X's pretty cheap. So what do y'all think, man? Should I try my hand at it? I'm thinking, I mean, if you rent a Mini X, we're talking about a day, you know, a day. That's it. But I have seriously been thinking about it. It's been kind of, you know, you never know, man. That could be my calling, man. Who knows, man? You know, because I'm really interested in the drainage stuff. And I have been doing a little bit of research as far as, you know, YouTube searches and stuff, just to kind of, you know, I know you're not gonna, you know, get educated deep with that, but you can learn a lot. You can definitely learn what equipment that you need too.